Hi, amazing viewers. Welcome to Christianity over Islam with Shamoun. And on today's episode of debate, Jewish scholars shocked after Christian proved Jesus is the Messiah. Let's watch this amazing video.
As a Jew, why do I need Christianity? Why do I need the New Testament?
Because if you believe the Old Testament prophesied the Messiah, then there is no Judaism without belief in Messiah. In fact, one of the 13 articles of faith by Moses Maimonides is that you must affirm the Messiah. So Christianity says your Messiah came. So if he has come and you reject him, then you're rejecting God.
And how do I know Jesus is the Messiah?
Well, that's what you have to examine, right?
Yeah.
So you have to examine the claims of Jesus and his followers, see if they're anchored in the Old Testament, and the interpretation of the Old Testament is correct.
But from what I understand, it's only shown in Isaiah.
It's only in Isaiah? No, it's not. Even the rabbis point to many passages in the Hebrew scriptures. Rabbis who are not Christians say this is Messianic. For example, Daniel 7:13 and 14, where the prophet Daniel has a vision of the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. You have in the Talmud and Rashi himself saying this is King Messiah. And that's a passage that Jesus himself quoted in reference to himself. So a lot of the prophecies found in the New Testament where they say this passage is about Messiah, Psalm 2:7, Daniel 7:13, 14, Daniel 9, even the rabbis agree it's Messiah, though they reject Jesus.
Okay, so it's just not Jesus?
Yeah, they'll say it's Messiah, but they don't believe it's Jesus. But that's the dilemma for them. For example, Daniel 9, Rashi himself says that the timetable given in Daniel 9, Daniel 2, shows that the Messianic Kingdom had to be established during the time when Titus, who is the general of the Roman armies, who came and destroyed the Second Temple. Rashi says that according to Daniel, it was during that time that the Messianic Kingdom had to be established. So it admits that Daniel's timetable says Messiah was to show up and establish the kingdom during that time. Where is the Messiah? I'm going to show you.
After the Bar Kokhba revolt?
No, that's in the 2nd century. You're talking about in the 130s. I'm talking about 66 to 73 AD. Rashi says the Messianic Kingdom was supposed to be established at that time. So where's the Messiah? Because he's saying that's the timetable given by Daniel. Here, show it to you. So where is he?
I don't know.
Exactly, because when the Jews rejected Jesus, not all of them. The first believers were Jews. They were not Gentiles. When they rejected Jesus, they didn't know what to do with the prophecy, so they had to reinterpret them. Here it is. So what does he say? Here he's talking about Daniel 9, 24 to 27. 70 weeks decreed. He says, so that Israel should receive their retribution, the exile of Titus and subjugation. So he's saying, when Titus destroyed Jerusalem, this is when Israel will receive their retribution. He says that the anointed one, because in Daniel 9 talks about Mashiach Nagid, the anointed one, the ruler, would be cut off. He says it was Agrippa who was killed in around 40 AD, 10 years after Jesus. But why Agrippa? Why did he say it's him? Why didn't he say it's Jesus? And he says Titus and his armies would come and destroy the temple. But then he says, and his end will come about by inundation, and his end will be damnation and destruction, for he will inundate the power of his kingdom through the Messiah. So he's saying that during this time, you would have the Messianic era, the Messianic Kingdom. And he's placing it in that period of time when Jesus walked, was killed, was buried, and his followers claim that he rose from the dead and ascended to heaven. But then he doesn't admit it's Jesus.
So who is it if it's not Jesus?
That's what you got to tell them. But that's why so many Jews end up becoming followers of Jesus, because these are prophecies. So you got to tell Tovia, saying, hey, Tovia, where's the Messiah? What do you mean? Rashi says, according to Daniel 9 timetable, the Messianic Kingdom had to have started at that era. An anointed one, a ruler, anointed Messianic figure would be cut off. All right, so these are some of the many prophecies that Christians point to in the Hebrew scriptures, and even the rabbis admit. Here is Chabad.org. This is their Bible. Messiah was supposed to show up at that time. Okay, where is he? Well, if you reject Jesus, Daniel's a false prophet, because his prophecy says Messianic Kingdom Messiah would start at that time. Well, Jesus came and went. The temple was destroyed. The Jews say, well, he's not the Messiah. So is Daniel a false prophet? Obviously not. So here, let me now show it to you. Here it is. To terminate to the transgression and to end sin, so that Israel should receive their complete retribution in the exile of Titus and his subjugation, in order that their transgression should terminate, their sin should end, and their iniquity should be expiated, in order to bring upon them eternal righteousness, to anoint upon them the Holy of Holies, the ark, the altars, the holy vessels, which they will bring to them through the King Messiah. So this is all going to happen through the King Messiah when Titus comes to destroy the temple in Jerusalem, 70 AD. Well, 70 AD came and went. Where's the Messiah?
So, like, what's the objection? Like, what's the Jewish objection to
I don't know why they rejected Jesus. Why did they continue to do so? Here. And his end will come about by inundation, and his end will be damnation and destruction, for he'll inundate the power's kingdom through the Messiah. And it's all talking about Jerusalem and temple being destroyed in 70 AD. And it says this happens through the Messiah. What Messiah? You don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. So where is he? Now watch. And until destruction and extermination befall the dumb one, and the ruling of the abomination will endure until the day the destruction and extermination decreed upon it will befall in the days of the King Messiah. Okay, well 70 AD came and went, buddy. Where is the Messiah? I don't know what to tell you.
All right. So, and what about like all the tradition, like Jewish tradition about like the Messiah bringing like world peace and stuff? Is that not biblical or?
Well, that's the thing. They don't tell you that the Hebrew Bible mentions a Messiah that will be killed and be resurrected, and then the Messiah who comes to resurrect him. Are you aware in the Babylonian Talmud they have two Messiahs?
They have what?
Two Messiahs?
Yeah, I know about that tradition, yeah.
Okay, so you're aware of Mashiach ben Yosef?
Mashiach ben David. Yeah.
Mashiach ben Yosef was killed, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, two Messiahs. Mashiach ben Yosef will be killed in battle, and Mashiach ben David who will resurrect him.
Okay.
That's in the Talmud. But wait, where did they get a Messiah, son of Joseph, who will be killed? Because I thought the Christians are lying when they say the Messiah must be killed. But in the Talmud it says, Messiah, son of Joseph, will be killed according to Zechariah 12:10. Here, let me show you.
So somebody's laughing at me that I don't know Judaism and I'm a Jew.
Who cares, man? Don't ignore them, dude. Whoever says that, I'll block them. You think they're Christians who know their Bible, guys? Do you think they're Christians that know their Bible? Why would you laugh that Jews don't know their own tradition? He just told you he's a secular Jew. Come on, Ott. Did you know your faith before you came here? My goodness. Sorry about that. So some people are too anxious. But anyway, I'm going to show it to you. Hold on one second. Well, here. See, this guy distracted me. I was focused on you. Ott, keep bothering people, huh? Zechariah. Let's see, 12:10. Watch here. 12:10. Ready? Now, even though I don't agree with the way he translates the Hebrew, but that's okay. Zechariah 12:10. If you read Hebrew, you're going to see it says, they shall look on me whom they pierced. Not they shall look on me about the ones who were slain. But here, Zechariah 12:10. And I will pour out upon the house of David, upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, a spirit of grace and supplications. They shall look to me because of those who have been thrust through. There's no plural. If you read the Hebrew, I don't know if you can, it says, Ille. They shall look, can you? Oh. They pierced who?
Oh, I love it.
But it's still singular.
Oh, yeah.
It's still singular. It's not them.
Yeah, it's singular.
But why did they translate it as plural? Here, look at the English. And they shall look to me because of those who've been thrust through.
No, it's singular.
You got it. So that means you just admit, here are the rabbis or the Jews that mistranslated the Hebrew. Why did they do that? They accuse us of mistranslating? Now here, who is it though? Who was the one that they killed? Here you go. Rashi, right here. As one mourns over an only son, as a man mourns over his only son, and our sages expounded this in Tractate Sukkah, Talmud 15, as referring to the Messiah, son of Joseph, who was slain. So Rabbinic Judaism admits the Messiah will be killed?
But I thought Jesus is son of, like, he's Mashiach ben David.
No, I mean, I'm not telling you the rabbis are right, because where does it say this Messiah is the son of Joseph? What I'm trying to show you is the rabbis admit there's a Messiah who will be killed.
כמספד על היחיד, כאשר יספוד איש על בן יחדיו, ורבותינו תרשוהב על משיח בן יוסף שנהרג. נהרג means killed, to be killed.
Who's going to be killed?
The Messiah.
But I thought the rabbis say we Christians are lying that in the Hebrew Bible, Messiah is killed.
Oh no, Chabad says that he will be killed.
And Chabad is not quoting Chabad, it's quoting Rashi. This is Rashi's commentary. And Rashi said this is what our sages taught. So my question to the Jews is, why do you accuse Christians of butchering the Old Testament, misquoting it, that there's nowhere in the Hebrew Bible that Messiah will be killed? Your rabbis say Messiah will be killed. Zechariah 12:10, which is what we quote. John quotes this about Jesus being killed on the cross. Come on. Here, let me show you. You see the Zechariah 12:10? You just read that the rabbis admit this is about Mashiach, but they say Mashiach ben Yosef, right?
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, now watch John saying this is about Messiah and Jesus fulfilled it. Watch. Same verse. Now we're going to go here. Okay. John 19:30-37. Watch. So why do the rabbis then say the New Testament's making things up? How are we making it up? Your rabbi said, yeah, this passage is about Messiah. And John said, yep, and Jesus is a Messiah. And when he was pierced on the cross, he fulfilled it. The quote here. Therefore, when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, it is finished. And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. Then the Jews, because it was the day of preparation, so that the bodies would not remain on the cross on the Sabbath, for that Sabbath was a high day, asked Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away. So the soldiers came, broke the legs of the first man, and of the other was crucified with him. But coming to Jesus, when they saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. But one of the soldiers pierced his side, pierced Jesus' side with a spear. There's that word. And immediately blood and water came out. And he who has seen has borne witness. And his witness is true, saying, see, I'm an eyewitness. I was there. I'm writing as an eyewitness. And he knows that he's telling the truth, so that you also may believe. For these things came to pass in order that the scripture might be fulfilled. Not a bone of him shall be broken. And notice here. And again, another scripture, they shall look on him whom they pierced. That's Zechariah 12:10. So why is it when the Christian quotes Zechariah 12:10 saying, see, when Jesus was killed on the cross and pierced, he fulfilled Zechariah 12:10. No, baloney, Messiah's not killed. But then that's what the rabbi said. They agreed with us. They agreed with John, the Jew, that Zechariah 12:10 is about Messiah.
I see.
Right here.
But what if like Rashi is just wrong? Like,
but he said the sages, not him. Sages plural. They're all wrong. Then who got it right? Okay, so this is what happens when we follow people like anti-Christian rabbis, Tovia Singer. They don't tell you these facts. They only try to show we're wrong, but then we go and read their sources. But wait, hold on, Tovia. You told me nowhere in the Old Testament, Hebrew scriptures, Tanakh, there's a Messiah will be killed. What about Zechariah 12:10? The Talmud, your rabbis say, this is Messiah, son of Joseph, who's killed. So that means we're right. There is a Messiah will be killed. But you're denying it's Jesus. Then who is it?
I don't know.
Exactly. They're not going to tell you, buddy. But I'll give you some resources from Jews who believe in Jesus, who study Rabbinic Judaism, and we'll show you all this, like Michael Brown. But here, I'm going to give you another one. This one is an interesting one, because this is the one we use to show that Mashiach, Messiah, is divine. He's more than a human. It's Daniel again. Watch here.
Yeah, because I was told like that, you know, the Messiah is not God. So
okay, well, let's see if that's true. Here you go. I'm going to show you something here. Daniel 7:13 and 14. This is one we use. It says, I saw in the visions of the night, behold, with the clouds of the heaven, one like a man. It's actually Bar Inasha. Bar Inasha in Aramaic. Bar Inash. We say Bar Nasha. Coming, clouds of heaven coming, and he came up to the Ancient of Days and was brought before him. Okay, now, read the Aramaic. This is Aramaic, actually. Daniel's in Aramaic here. Read it for us.
Chazeh, Hayot, Chazui. I'm sorry, my...
It's okay. Just work through it, because you're going to see it's not man, it's son of man. Bar Inash. Bar Inasha.
Vahu im ananei shemiya, Bar Anash.
See, Bar Anash.
It doesn't say
Bar.
Kebar.
Kebar means like.
Kebar.
Ke means like.
Yeah, like.
But Bar Inash, Bar Inasha in modern Assyrian, Bar Inash means son of Inash, son of man. Kebar means like a son of man.
Yeah.
So literally it's son of man, right?
Yeah.
But what will all the nations do for him?
Atahu ve'ed atik yomiyah mata v'kedmohi akrobahi.
Okay, now read 14. I'm sorry, I was supposed to show you. I'm stupid. Anyway, because it's this one here. And he gave him, the Ancient of Days gave him dominion and glory in the kingdom, and all peoples, nations shall serve him. Now notice this son of man, Ke Barinash, one like a son of man. Barinash means son of man. His dominion is an eternal dominion, which will not be removed, and his kingdom one which will not be destroyed. Now notice, he rules forever over all peoples, but they will serve him. Now, what's the Aramaic for serve? I'm sorry, this was the verse.
ולא יאהב שלטן ויקר ומלכו וכל עממיה ומיה ולשנאה לה יפלחון שלטן עולם. Oh, so he's the ruler of the world, or
and all peoples will serve him. It says nations will serve him. What's that word if you can say it? Because say it and I'll tell you.
די לא יעדיו מלכותה די לא תתחבל. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it should be in Aramaic. It comes from pilach. Yipelechun.
Oh, yipelchun, yeah.
Yipelchun. Yipelchun from pilach. Yipelchun. They will all yipelchun serve him, right?
Yeah, serve or praise or.
Okay, but this word yipelchun is used in Daniel for the service given only to God.
Really?
Oh yeah. Here, Daniel 7:27, buddy. But I'm going to show you who he is. Okay, and the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under all the heavens will be given to the people only once. Its kingdoms is a perpetual kingdom, and all dominions will serve and obey. Well, holy ones. Okay, now here the word is Elyonin. Will be given to the Most High. Elyonin. Elyonin is the Most High. You'll see, and one will be given to him, right?
תחות כל שמיעה יהבת לעם קדישי עליונין מלכות עולם וכל שלטניה לה יפלחון וישתמעון. Yeah.
Elyonin, that's the high, that's God. How do I know? Elyonin is God because he's mentioned here in Daniel 7:25, the Most High. The Elyonin, the high ones, holy ones, it's actually the Most High. That's him. So they give Yipelchun to the Most High, right? Because the Most High is the highest ones, plural.
Yeah, and to the Son of Man.
Oh, Son of Man gets Yipelchun, right?
Yeah, also him.
But now notice who the Son of Man is. Look, watch. Now watch Rashi. Look what he's going to say.
This is the place where this video gets more interesting. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do it to subscribe.
Here, you're going to read it. This is a Chabad Daura. This is not Christian. Who is one like a man?
The Messiah.
Wow. So he agrees with the Christians. This is Messiah. Look what he says here. Read it for us.
Yeah, it says the person who's being spoken here is the King Messiah.
So Rashi says the Son of Man who rides the clouds and is worshipped forever is King Messiah. And now, who could Jesus claim to be? This is Jesus when the high priest wanted to accuse him of blasphemy. Look what he says. Mark 14:61-62. This is Jesus. Look what he says. They accused him of blasphemy. Watch here. But he kept silent and did not answer. Again, the high priest was questioning him and said to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?" And Jesus said, "I am, and you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming with the clouds of heaven." So Jesus says, "I'm the Messiah, that Son of Man that rides the clouds of heaven, and I sit at the right hand of the power." So why are Christians accused of lying that Daniel 7:13-14 is about Messiah, when Jesus claimed to be Messiah, who's that Son of Man, when the rabbis admit that Daniel 7 is about the Messiah?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's not what they're going to tell you, my friend. They're not going to tell you that, right?
No, they said that it can't be Jesus. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's say, we'll put that aside. Is Daniel 7 about Messiah? Yes.
Yes.
But this Messiah rides the clouds of heaven. If he's only human, how does he ride the clouds of heaven? Because that's what God does. Hashem does in the Old Testament. He rides the clouds of heaven. I'll show you that. And if he's only human, why is he served forever like the Most High?
Well, he's divine then, but...
Oh, you got it. So then why is Jesus condemned for blasphemy, or Christians accused of lying for saying, that Son of Man that Daniel saw, he's more than a man, he's divine, he rides the clouds of heaven, he rules forever, he's worshipped, and Jesus claimed to be that Son of Man? Can I give you one final one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, where will Messiah, Mashiach, come from? Watch here. This is Rashi again. And then I'm going to give you my Skype. You contact me if you want to do a session, you and me. And I'll go through all the rabbis, all the verses showing you the Trinity from the Hebrew Bible. Not New Testament. Hebrew Bible. Tanakh.
Tanakh, yeah.
But let me show you this. Okay, for Naviim.
Okay. I know the Messiah is supposed to be from the Holy Land, from Israel.
Well, notice where, though. Watch here. Oh, here, again, Rashi. It's not me, so don't people say, oh, you're lying, Sam. Shut your Bible. Okay, here. And you, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, you should have been the lowest of the clans of Judah for me. He shall emerge for me to be a ruler over Israel, and his origin is from old, from days of yore. So notice, this one, he's ancient, he's old, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, but who is this? From you shall emerge for me who?
The Messiah, son of David.
Where is he going to come from?
Shall emerge from me from
Bethlehem, Ephrathah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, but how old is he? This ruler is from where? Read it. How old is he?
Mikadem Yamei Olam. So he's from very old.
Wait, Adam Me'olah means he's from the beginning, from eternity, right?
Yeah, from eternity.
But wait, how can a human being be from eternity, from Olam?
And this speaks about the Messiah?
Yeah, right here. What did Rashi say? Oh, read it.
Yeah, it does.
And here, what does he say here? Read it.
Mashiach ben David v'kaha
Oh, Mashiach ben David. And he says, look, his origins from old. Before the Son, his name is Yinon, meaning Mashiach was named even before the Son. He's known as Yinon.
Yeah, that's it.
But how can Mashiach be a mere man if he's from Qadim, from Me'olam, from eternity? And where he'll come from? Bethlehem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see where Jesus was born. There you go. So when they say, oh, no, you're making... What?
I thought he's from Nazareth.
No. He was raised in Nazareth. Where was he born? You can be born in Israel and raised in America, right?
Yeah.
So you're born in Israel and you're raised in Sweden. We're not talking about where you're raised, where you're born. Look where Jesus was born. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, he's born exactly where the prophet said Mashiach would come. In the days of Herod the king, Matthew 2:1-6, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and have come to worship him. And when Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he was inquiring of them where the Christ was to be born. Mashiach. Christ is from Greek. Christos, in Hebrew, Mashiach, but Greek it's Christos. And they said to him, in Bethlehem, Judea. Now notice what they quote. For this was been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah. They just quoted Micah. Same prophecy we just read. And by no means, least among the leaders of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a leader who will shepherd my people Israel. Notice the Jews at Jesus' time believed that Micah 5:2 tells us where Messiah would be born. And Jesus was born in Bethlehem, and the rabbis agree. Micah 5 tells us where Messiah would come. Here it is, Chabad.org, Rashi's commentary. And you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, who's coming? Messiah, son of David. So Jesus is born exactly where the prophet said Messiah would come, Bethlehem. And yet the prophet said this Messiah is not just human because he comes from Olam, Qadim Ma'olam. He's ancient. That's exactly what we can say about Jesus. Isn't that exactly what we say about Jesus?
Yeah, you do.
That he's the divine son who comes from eternity to become man. So why the rabbis saying baloney? The Tanakh doesn't teach it. I just gave you the rabbis. I didn't give you Christians.
No, I guess.
So here's what I'm going to give you to watch now. RealMessiah.com. Michael Brown is a Jewish believer in Jesus. He wrote 5 books called Answering Jewish Objections to Jesus, and he's debated rabbis. They're all online. This is the website. He answers rabbinic objections, and he also gives you the proof from the Tanakh and rabbinic Judaism, what and who the Messiah is and will do, and proving Jesus the Messiah. Just send it to you in private chat. You see it?
Yeah, I opened it.
But I'm going to give you another one on YouTube. This is one of the best. In fact, I think it is the best. One for Israel. These are all Israeli Jews and Jews who are all believers in Jesus, and they all have responses to the rabbis and testimony after testimony of Jews who become followers of Jesus. This is one of the best. Rabbis, Jews, ultra-Orthodox, secular, it's all there. And their responses to the rabbis. Okay, so I just sent you private, right?
Yeah, I see their YouTube channel.
Okay, you see it right there? And they got testimonies of Jews who became followers of Jesus and their responses to the rabbis. See? These are all Jews. Jews who came to believe in Jesus. And they're Israeli Jews. Look at all the testimony. And refuting the rabbis, showing that the prophecies are about Messiah and Jesus fulfilled them. Betray my people. Look, these are testimonies of Jews who became followers of Jesus and how the Jews consider them betrayers. Here you go. Buddy, hundreds of thousands of Jews are reading the Tanakh and seeing Jesus is the only Messiah, only hope of salvation. So study that. And if you want to ask me more questions, I'll give you my Skype. You let me know it's you and we'll take it from there. So here it is in private chat. There's my Skype. Say it's me, the Jewish guy, and we'll take it from there.
All right, because I don't want to do anything in real life yet because my family, I know that. They're not very approving of it.
Well, of course, you're going to get persecuted, disowned, but that's why study to see the evidence to show you he is Messiah, he is alive, he is real, and the evidence is all in favor of Jesus being Messiah, and you're not alone. Hundreds of thousands of Jews are following him, and they're suffering. Like here, this testimony right here. This lady's crying. I was afraid I would betray my people.
Yeah, because my father said that, like, if you become Christian, you're not Jewish anymore.
Exactly. But that's silly. Jewish means your ethnicity. Christianity is a religion. Can you be a Jew and atheist?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means whether you believe or you don't believe doesn't affect your ethnicity. Ethnically, you're Jewish, but religiously, you may be Buddhist, like some Jews are, or atheist, or Hindu. Jews are Buddhist. Does that mean they're not Jews?
No, they're still Jews ethnically.
So why the hatred for Jesus that if you become a Christian, you're no longer Jewish? Why?
Because my father said that the Christians, they persecuted Jews.
Sadly, yes, but does that mean that the Christians who did that somehow that means that Jesus wasn't Jewish, his mother wasn't Jewish, his followers weren't Jews, the New Testament was written by Jews with the exception of 2 books written by a Gentile? Yes, we've had Christians who've done a lot of evil things. Christians even killed each other. All right. Okay, and what does that got to do with Jesus was ethnically Jewish? His mother, in fact, you know, there are about 2 billion people in the world that believe that the greatest creature God created, the greatest woman, is a Jewish woman named Mary?
Yeah.
Okay, what does that tell you about Jesus? That he makes non-Jews look to this Jewish woman as the greatest woman, greatest creature God created. A Jewish woman.
Yeah, I don't feel hate from Christians. I'm not saying that.
Christians, I know you don't, but I understand, sadly, in our history, we've had a lot of bad things in our history, but that's true of every group, man. Look at today with Netanyahu. How many people are saying, look at Netanyahu, he's a murderer, right? Does that mean all Jews are bad? You get what I'm saying. There have been people who've done a lot of things that have brought shame to their community.
Yeah. The only
Does that mean all Jews should be? No, man, it shouldn't be. In fact, if anyone says, you Jews, you're evil because you killed Christ. But wait, the first believers were Jews. Peter was Jewish. Thomas was Jewish. Paul was Jewish. His mother was Jewish. Jesus was Jewish. When the Bible says the Jews had Jesus killed, it's not talking about all the Jews. It's talking about a group of Jews handing him over to the Romans, which is admitted in the Talmud.
But so I'll tell you, I don't want to keep you.
No, go ahead, brother. I'm concerned about you. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only reason I'm like getting interested in Christianity is because I have an Arab friend. He's Christian, and
good man.
We spoke about it, and he said something about like Christians being like spiritually Jews or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand him like too much because
spiritual. What he means is this. What's more important to God? Is it more important to God that you're ethnically Jewish and reject God and disobey God and turn your back on God?
No, your faith.
Okay.
Because even the teaching say that.
Exactly. The teaching of Jesus is this: because he's the true seed of Abraham, meaning when the Tanakh says, in the seed of Abraham, all the peoples of the earth will be blessed. Jesus says, I'm the seed of Abraham, and I'm the one who's going to bless the nations. So if you become one with me, I make you one with Abraham. So we now become spiritual sons of Abraham.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if I am a follower of the true Messiah, and I'm a Gentile, and I love Jesus, and he's the true seed of Abraham who brings the blessing of it. Because didn't God say, in your seed, all the nations will be blessed? Didn't he say that to Abraham?
Yeah, he did.
And then Jesus says, I'm the seed. I'm the Jewish son of Abraham, the seed who saves the world. So the New Testament, here he is. Here's the seed of Abraham. Here's the one that Abraham was told would come and save the world. Because God doesn't just want to save Jews. He wants to save all nations. He made them all, right?
Yeah, I think the New Testament also says that all nations are...
All nations. In fact, Daniel 7 said that when Messiah rules, is he going to rule only the Jews or all the nations?
Kolaming, so all the...
And they're going to all serve him in all languages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the promise is, since Jesus is the seed of Abraham, when I believe in Jesus, he makes me one with Abraham, not physically, spiritually, so I become a spiritual son. So if I'm a Gentile and I follow the true Messiah, and you, a Jew, reject Messiah, reject God, who do you think God will be pleased with? And who do you think Abraham's going to be pleased with? The one who accepts his true seed, the Messiah, or the one who rejected him, turned away?
The one who accepts.
Okay, so being Jewish had an advantage because through you came the seed. But there's also a responsibility, because the Bible says the Jews, because they were chosen by God in the Old Testament period, he goes, because I know you, I'll punish you worse than any other nation. He says that here. So
yeah, I know this.
Okay.
Because you have the truth with you, so you're going to get judged hard.
Who's going to get punished worse?
So the Jews who have the truth.
So it's a blessing to have been God's covenant community, but a curse, because notice your history in the Old Testament Tanakh. How many times God punished the Jews and scattered them because they kept turning away from him? And then Jesus comes and says, this is it. It ends with me. I'm the seed. Now you got to be in me to be a true son of Abraham, because to reject me is to reject God, and it's over for you.
Yeah, they rejected, well, they didn't reject God, but they disobeyed God many times.
Yeah, but can you accept God and reject Moses when Moses was there?
No.
Exactly. So Jesus says, you cannot be pleasing to God if you reject me, because God promised the coming of the seed, the Mashiach. I'm saying it's me, and you have to believe in me, because by rejecting me, you're rejecting God. And if you reject me and you reject God, God will reject you. Simple as that. Common sense. It's common sense. If he is the Messiah, that means he's God's Messiah, and we got to believe in God's Messiah. And if you don't, God says, well, you reject my Messiah, I reject you. Common sense. This is, you can use that with any prophet. Isaiah comes and the Jews say, the hell with you. Oh, God says, oh, the hell with him? Watch what I do to you. How much more the Messiah?
Yeah, there's also a group that denied, I don't remember which prophet, and they were swallowed by the earth.
Yeah, that was when they rejected Aaron. The earth swallowed them up because they didn't want Aaron to be the priest.
Yeah, the priest.
Yeah. So my point being, this concept of Jesus being the Messiah of God, and to reject him, God will reject you. But to accept him, then you become a true son of Abraham. That is not just New Testament. That's the Hebrew scriptures. In fact, God already prepared the Jews for the reality that even Gentiles, the Goyim, will be given the status of Israelites. That if they come and they worship the God of Israel, you are to treat them like native Israelites. You cannot make a distinction. That's in the Tanakh. You got to treat them like an Israelite. Here, consider them Israelite. Here, I want to give it to you. Chabad.org. So you don't think I'm making up, buddy. Chabad.org. One more time, and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So this teaching that if you're in Jesus, you become a spiritual Jew, it's already planted in the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh. I'm going to show it to you. Where are the, what happened here? Texts. Where we got texts? I'm going to find Chabad.org. Help me, Lord. Let me show it to you. All right, here we go. We're going to go to Leviticus. We're going to go to Torah, Leviticus 19:33 to 34. 19:33, 34. Okay, watch here. He already prepared you for that. The Goyim, the Gentile, the stranger, if he comes and he worships God of Israel, you treat him as an Israelite. You make no difference. Here, Leviticus 19:33, 34. When a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall not taunt him, The stranger who sojourns with you shall be as a native from among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you are strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Here it is. So the sojourner, meaning the non-Israelite, you are to
don't mistreat him to know.
and treat him how? Like a native born, right? Like he's one of you.
Yeah, like he's a citizen, like he's yours. Yeah.
Yours. So that means even here, the Old Testament Hebrew Scripture says Gentiles worship God will be considered Israelites.
Yeah, I know this. You're right.
So then, when we say we goyim Gentiles, when we believe in Jesus, we become spiritual Jews. That's actually in the Bible. That's in the Torah. That's in the Tanakh.
Yeah, I believe this. Because this is like really bothering me. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
I guess I'll keep in contact with you.
Yeah, here's my Skype again, because there were two ors manifesting because their mother was share prostitutes. There you go. So let me know. I put in the chat, and you saved the other links, right?
Yeah, I got your article on the blog, the Answering Islam blog.
Okay. Yeah, contact me and go to those websites. They got a lot more information for you.
Okay, I will.
All right, brother?
Yeah, I was waiting to speak to you for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know why I missed your email. I'm sorry, but Skype is the best way. Just Skype me and say, hey, it's me. And then every time you want to go live, we'll talk.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent questions. I'm proud of you. Keep searching and pray. If you believe God really is, just say, God of my fathers, I need you to show me if Jesus Messiah, and give me the grace and confidence. And I promise you, he will reveal himself. I'm not lying. It'll happen.
All right, welcome back. Hope you've learned from this amazing video. Please do it to like, subscribe, and hit up the notification button so that each time we drop our new videos, you'll be notified. And please do it to write in the comment section whatever thing you've learned from this amazing video. As you can see in this video, these Jewish guys are men who just believe the Old Testament, or they don't believe this New Testament. Because I believe the main reason these guys don't believe the New Testament is because they don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And this Jewish guy was asking Sam and was saying that why must he be as a Jew to believe the New Testament? And Sam gave him proof that in the Old Testament that you believe Daniel said about the coming of the Messiah. He said truly he believed what Daniel spoke. And Sam went forward and showed him in the book of Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 10, and which Zechariah prophesied, said, and I'll pour out on the house of David and in the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and supplication. And what was Zechariah speaking at that particular time? That God was speaking that he's going to pour out his spirit. And who is that spirit that is going to pour out upon all men? And this guy was still asking that, so if truly Jesus Christ is that spirit, then let him give him proof in the New Testament. And Sam went forward and showed him in the book of John, where Jesus said that when I go, I'll pour out my spirit upon all flesh. So whatever thing you can find in the Old Testament, you can still find it in the New Testament. That means Jesus Christ lived every prophecies that was spoken from the Old Testament and still revised it down to the New Testament. So these are proof to say to the Jews that Jesus is the Messiah. And Sam went forward and showed him even down from the beginning, from Genesis chapter 1, trying to prove to this guy that Jesus is the Messiah, telling him that when God was creating men, and God said, let us now make man in our own image and likeness. So that means God was not alone while he was creating the whole earth and even creating men. So this appoints that Jesus is the Messiah. And David speaks about the coming of the Messiah in Psalms chapter 12, where he speaks about the Messiah and everything that will happen to the Messiah, that will die, and on the third day he will rise again from the dead and is going to sit at the right hand of the Father. And the same thing was written in the book of John. So all this proof was given to this Jewish guy, and at the end of this video, this guy learned a lot from Shamoun, and this guy believed that Jesus is now the Messiah. Thanks for watching this amazing video. Please do it to like, subscribe, and hit up the notification button so that each time we drop our new videos, you'll be notified. Thanks for watching this amazing video.